This is your 2020 BMW M550i, mostly a carryover model from last year, but there was a lot more power here. Let's go Quirks, Perks, and Irks. This has the laser lights, and if you're not sure if your car has laser lights or any other BMW you see, you can see the word laser lights there, plus there's that nice blue tinge on the inside as well. It's a BMW, it's almost 100 grand, so you're gonna have LEDs every single place imaginable. Good looking front end. Again, carryover model. They didn't change much, and they didn't have to because it's an absolutely beautiful vehicle. Let's take a look at where we started. Nice front quarter look. Dimensions are really nice. Let's get a side profile of the vehicle. It's a little cold. It snowed last night and this morning, and it rained, so sorry for the car is a little on the dirty side. There you go. Proportions look absolutely wonderful. Beautiful rims, winter tires, nice blue brake calipers there. I don't really like this. This is an Irk for me. It's that tiny little M, just, I'd get rid of it altogether. And there is a little vent there. So again, sorry for the car being a little dirty. One way to signify this being an M550i, mirror caps are chrome. Nice long LED strip off your turn signal, for your turn signal. Let's take a look at a bit of the rear. So you also have blue brake calipers on the rear. Not as big as the front, but still present as we troll around. I was going to say as we turn and roll, that's troll. As we go to the rear of the vehicle, you can see again, typical BMW turn signals on the top, and they're red. M550i badging, and we're going to kick our foot underneath. And up goes the trunk. Plenty of space in here. I put the car snow brush there just to give you a little idea of depth. You got a little storage down there as well. That's kind of wrap up the outside. Let me close that trunk up for you. Again, mostly carryover model, still looks absolutely fantastic. Let's take a look at the inside. 2020 BMW M550i. Inside look, starting with the rear seats, manual sunshades for the big window and for the small window on both sides. There is an automatic sunshade for the rear window, but I can't show it to you right now because, well, I just can't. But I will show it to you at some point soon. Fixed as far as seating goes, but perk for me, little one touch for the middle portion, and the middle seat goes down, well, the middle part goes down, so you put your skis and your snowboards or your guitars or whatever it is that you want to put in there for a little bit of extra storage. HVAC controls, heated seats back here, part of the upgraded package, couple of USBs and some storage. I like the brown leather, it's very comfortable back here, and it's a 5 Series, so it should be. Nice white piping is a great accent, along with the double stitching and the quilted pattern. Well done in BMW. That's what you're going to see if you're sitting behind me, or, well, whoever's driving the M550i. Let's jump up front, give you a quick walkthrough on that. Memory seats right there. Everything else is kind of where it's supposed to be, so it's very nicely done. I don't mind this. Gets some fingerprints, but not as many as I'd expect. Ambient lighting runs there and a bunch of other places, and this is the upgraded Harman Kardon audio system as well. Seats, fantastic. You can adjust them all sorts of different ways. And the cool part here is not only does this whole part come forward, this part comes forward as well. Let's see if I can show it to you. It's all the way up. So you see just the top parts moving back and forward. So thank you, BMW, for that. You have your airline headrests so that they bend to accommodate whatever size head you have. I've got an average size head, I guess. And anyways, no need to talk about that right now. There's your digital, that's not even a word. Digital dashboard. Yes, it has the new BMW style where the tachometer goes counterclockwise. Some people are upset with it. I don't care. It tells me all the information that I need, and it's easy to read. So fine with me. I'll get into the fuel figures a little later on, but I just wanted to show you now. Yes, I have the kilometers or the fuel tank low. So I've done, I've done 442.5 kilometers, and my fuel consumption is currently sitting at 14.5. Again, driving part of the video, I'll give you more information on that. I'm not going to go through this too much. All your information's here. It's newish, I think a couple years, maybe 1 year old, and it looks great. And I love that it says M550i right at the top. Heated steering wheel button is where it's supposed to be, right in the middle where you can see it. I know BMW used to do it where it was a little button back here and didn't care for that. Oh, power steering adjustments as well. Nicely done. No fog lights on this model, but everything else is again where it's supposed to be. Start stop button. It's a little straighter than some of the other models, and I like that BMW's done that. And because it's a monstrous V8, you have to have the the auto start stop to meet the emissions. There's a look at your infotainment. iDrive, nice, easy to use. I'm so used to it now, and if you're not used to it, if it's a new thing for you, maybe a couple of days, maybe a week at the most, and you'll be very fluent with it. I've always liked this. This is like a little safety shield. So right now it's on. You can see the green circle. I'm going to push it off, and that's how you configure some of your. Look at that in focus. There we go. That's how you get quick access to your safety features. So I'm going to put that back on. Oh, too many button pushings. On. There we go. Sorry. I don't mind this because it works with gloves, and it's always kind of been an irk of mine that, well, don't give me a lack of hard touch buttons for the climate controls. But again, it's winter. It's what is it today? The 12th of January. I've had the car for a week, and every single time I've touched this with a glove, it's worked and it's gone on. Actually, I'm going to see if I can grab my glove, and I will show you, because as that actions, words, louder, speaking. Sorry, hold on. So there it is. There's my ugly winter gloves. So you can see it's going up. I'm going to put my heated seat off, on, off, and get rid of that. And go through the menu as well, and the menu pops up right there. So yeah, good job BMW on making it very responsive with gloves on. You still have some hard touch buttons there. The mode, the band, and volume, of course. Thank you for that. It looks like there should have been space. Let me get my glove off. It looks like there should have been space for a CD player, but because it's 2020, they don't have one, and that's great. Blank panel switch right up front in your line of sight. I don't really like that too much. There's one there. Don't really care. Not the end of the world. I don't really see it all the time, but this one kind of bothers me. Slide that open, and you get your wireless charging USB and a couple of cup holders. I think it's a little peculiar placement. I know they can't do much about it, but there's a high risk of having a drink spill into the USB port there. Just be careful with your drinks, I guess. And these are cool because they bend. How do we get that in? Let's get this one. So adjusts to get different sizes of drinks. There's your Idrive Controller. There's ceramic controls, part of a paid upgrade with the Premium Excellence package, and I'll list those later on in the video. Parking brake, auto hold, different drive modes, and your camera modes. And let's put it in reverse. I'll show you what I see. So you get your surround view camera, which is really cool, and you also get your standard rear view camera. So I'm gonna open the door, and interestingly, when you open the door, the camera deactivates. So door is open, and you can see that little door open sign. Where are we? Come on, focus. Right there. I'm gonna close it, and it goes away. So really nicely done there. Put the car back in park, and you've got your paddle shifter, sorry, to change gears. So pardon the pun. You know that funny thing that I say. Paddle shifters there, and they're very nice. Good feel to them. You can also run it. Let's put the car in drive. Manual mode, just pop it one to the left, and back for upshifting, forward for downshifting, back in park. And that's a cool thing. I'm not sure if you saw that, but let's do that again. Car is in drive, over to the left, and sorry for my hand and my face being in there, but watch this. I'm gonna put it in park. Pops over. Very cool. Bit of storage in here. USB port as well. Not really a lot, but you know, some beats none. All right, that's gonna wrap it up for the inside. Let's get this thing out on the road. 2020 BMW M550i. Hey, BMW.
Hello, what can I help you with?
Play the Noble Rogues.
Okay, I've selected the Noble Rogues. I'm starting the playback.
Let's do the drive. 2020 BMW M550i. So 4.4 liter twin turbo V8, 523 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque. Yes, it is tuned the same way as the M850i that I had in the summer of 2019, and this thing is explosively fast and quick and accurate and precise. Now, over last year, which is 2019 model, we're up 68 horsepower and 73 pound-feet of torque. So BMW's engineers have taken a simply wonderful thing and just made it that much better and put a ton of exclamation points on it. So the M5 has 600 horsepower and the same 553 pound-feet of torque. The M5 Competition has 617 horsepower and the same 553 pound-feet of torque. So whether you want the M550i, the M5, or the M5 Competition, you're all the same level as far as torque goes. It's just your boosts up in horsepower. And some people have called this the M5 Lite, and I think it's kind of a crappy thing to do. You know, this isn't like an M5 Lite. It's still a tremendous vehicle, and it's good enough to drive every day, to do your groceries, to go to and from work, and whatever other errands and things you do in your life. But you know, you want to just open it up and take advantage of all the power that the BMW team has put in here. You can still do that. I've run around the city, and I've done the highway thing, and I've done the back roads thing, and really this M550i has performed with full marks and flying colors. It's comfortable, yet it's fast, and it's precise, and you know, it just eats up all the bumps, so it's a very, very smooth and comfortable ride. And living in the GTA, there are a ton of potholes all over the place. So I'm very happy with it, and it's a great balance between everything, and it's quick. It does 0 to 100 in I think 3.9 seconds, whereas last year's 2019 did it in 4 seconds flat. But there's more power and there's more torque this year, so it's great. Creature comforts are absolutely wonderful. Idrive, I keep going on about how good it is, and yes, it had a ton of growing pains in the early days, but now it's wonderful. It's so intuitive. It is so bright. There, that's a little better, so I'm not squinting at you or people in front of me. As far as more utilitarianism, the trunk is huge. You got a ton of space back there. Would I like to see the rear seats fold down? Absolutely. Do I care that they don't? Not really, because they've got that middle pass-through for all your stuff. I did groceries a couple of times and did some errands, and I had no problems with the cargo space in the trunk here. As far as, you know, bells and whistles go, this does have an upgraded package, and I'll list some of the highlights right there for you. Heated seats, cooled seats, heated rear seats. The ceramic controls are just some of the ones that come to mind. I don't know if I necessarily get it, but it's nice that BMW Canada spec'd it with it. As far as fuel economy goes, it is a 68-liter fuel tank, and you got to put the good stuff in because it's their twin turbo. I've done 450.3 kilometers. My average is 14.7. Now, it's been cold and crappy, and the traffic has been awful. It's been a lot of standstill traffic. I've had the heated seats on full. I've had the HVAC on 3 or 4 for most of it, plus the heated steering wheel. Plus I had some extra weight in the vehicle. So it's not a true representation of what daily driving it is. And honestly, even if it was 14.7, that's not bad for a twin turbo V8. What the actual fuel figures are from the government of Canada are 13.6 for the city, 9.3 for the highway, for a blended total of 11.7. Not bad. Again, just consider the size of the engine, consider the output of the engine, and it's really not all that bad. This to me is, you know, it's an athlete in a suit. Again, it's quick, it's fast. The exterior is very, I don't want to say plain, because plain's not the right word. It's very elegant. It's powered by simplicity is what I would say for the exterior. There's a tiny little rear spoiler lip that separates this from the regular 5 Series, but it's barely noticeable. Functional, yes. Noticeable, not all that much. But as far as, you know, getting in and around corners and really digging in, the M550i does it pretty much flawlessly. There's not, you know, you don't fishtail out, and you don't feel like you're ever out of control with the vehicle. You're always, you know, firmly planted, and you just point the nose wherever it is you want to go. That was my attempt at showing you at pointing the nose, and anyways, you know what I mean. But it's a great vehicle. I don't really see many flaws with it. There's some things personally for me, like little M badging on the outside. I'm not a big fan of that. A couple of blank panel switches, whatever. That's just my personal preference on things. So my camera mount broke, and we're gonna do the rest of this handheld. 2020 BMW M550i is a tremendous vehicle, looks great, feels great, drives great, and there's so much power in it. It does have the optional heads-up display. I'll do a cutaway to that right now. I wasn't always a big fan of the heads-up display, but it's definitely growing on me. Let me know if you have any questions on this vehicle, and I will do my best to answer them as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the support, and feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll be back sooner than later with my next car review, and I think this is 2 reviews in a row where I haven't screwed up the ending.